So hello again, it's Bill Cogswell with part 2 of my river walk tour. And I promised you a better view of that large smokestack. Like I said, just imagine building that thing by hand. And that mill we were walking by is the Lawrence Manufacturing, and that was referred to in that sign I showed you at the very end of the last video. Made knit fabrics since 1828. I think most of those knit fabrics were underwear, and I think a lot of them went to military use over the years. I've read so much about this area and different uses and stuff, and some of it just sort of melds together in my tired brain. So I've always liked this picture too. This is one of the outlet canals coming down from uptown, and often see a lot of bird life in here, and it's occasionally much higher. Nice little spot. I mentioned in an earlier video about wasted water, and that's what this is. So anything that came out here, they viewed as lost because it wasn't providing power to the mills. Very interesting that they would completely drain the canals on the weekends and clean up all the stuff that had collected in there. And a lot of it was taken away by the junk man, but a lot of that was done just to preserve the water flow. You know, if it's filled with junk, it's not carrying as much water as it could. So everything was driven by economics. Here we go, ready to work. Interesting description of some of the, I guess what you call it, hydrodynamics that went into powering the mills. How you doing, boss? And this walkway is the Yankee Division walkway. So you can see it's memorial to the infantry from the area, the 26th Infantry, that served in the Civil War, World War I, and World War II.
Must be that head of hair, dead giveaway.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
I'm way down the other end. I'm going, that's got to be my neighbor.
It's Bill.
It is Bill.
Out there doing another video.
There you go.
The River of Death.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Yep. The end of the end.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, this was when they were getting typhoid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been doing videos of
That's
walking
cool.
around
Yeah,
Lowell and posting them on
so
my
much.
YouTube channel where my music is.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah, it's just
Cool
amazing.
stuff around here too.
And my hair gave me
See the
away.
big blue heron hanging out all over the place.
I know.
They're always down in here. There's usually one right when we go on this boardwalk.
Yeah.
Usually.
Boy, there was a while this summer when that little pond by the boardwalk was
Yeah.
completely dry.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
And then earlier, after all the rains, earlier this summer,
Yeah.
it was completely flooded,
Yeah.
even that little peninsula.
Look at it again. Full again.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it? That crazy summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Monday. God.
I know.
How much can it rain? I'm like, stop.
They've said so far. Yeah, look at that's completely flooded.
Yeah.
Where those trees are is normally
it's usually
above
an island
water.
there. Yep, all the ducks sit there. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've been jogging, walking, running on this for, God, I don't know how long now.
Yeah, it's
25. Even when I lived on the other side of the bridge back in the day.
Yeah.
But I used to still utilize this for running. It's a nice little spot.
Yeah, it's
Nice and flat.
I absolutely love it. It's part of what I love about this city.
Yeah. Walk.
All right, I'm gonna take a photo of this sign.
There you go. Good
Hey,
seeing you.
yeah, good to see you too. See you back at home.
Yep.
Once again, I'm not sure how well this is going to photograph, but it's basically talking about the watershed. And if you look at where the water comes from in that little map on the right, in fact, I'll try to home in on it a little bit if I can. I can't see a thing with all the reflection. But basically, this runs from almost in Canada all the way down to Massachusetts and out to the ocean. And they purchased water rights from Lake Winnipesaukee, Newfound, and Squam Lakes. So, pretty wild. The influence of capitalism. And I'm not anti-capitalism, but unfettered. I don't think there's any doubt but that there's been a lot of abuses of the power, and on the other hand, it's provided us with a way of life that's pretty incredible. I just think there needs to be a balance, and not editorializing about where the balance should be, but I think we have a Bigfoot sighting. I heard him growling. Ah, it's got to be Bigfoot. Eh? Maybe an editorial comment on my appearance. Don't know. This is just gorgeous. It's like canopied walkway, and I was down there one day, and there was a woman a professor from UMass Lowell, and had a bunch of her students, and she was showing them all the flora and fauna, and she spied something right along here that freaked her out. She said, "This is the bane of my existence," and she gave the Latin name and the common name, both of which I've forgotten, and says it's an invasive species. And good afternoon. Talked about all of the havoc that it has wreaked. So, and I'm sure she's right. There's definitely a lot of that. Once the world opened up to travel the way it has, invasive species are a fact of life. I did hear one person say, well, they live on the planet that doesn't make them invasive. They're just on a different part of the planet. I guess in a way that's true, but and here we have bit about the decline. All the mills getting torn down, and that your old buildings have perhaps served well their purpose, but they were long ago out of date and are of no value now, even if they can be considered safe to work in. And as somebody that lives in one of those old buildings, I beg to differ. I think they're of lots of value. Maybe not for their original intended use. And another sort of interesting video about how they expanded their influence and made all the different mills in Lowell. And they expanded down into Lawrence when it sort of built everything they thought they could build. And that device, I believe, is one of the electrical dynamos, the generators that they were using to make electricity. Could be wrong, and I can't get to it because it's now in this whole mill building is a giant apartment and condo complex, and I can't get close to it. I've asked if I could go in, and they said, "Oh, I can't allow that." Someday maybe I'll find somebody that'll say, "Oh yeah, we can do that." But so far, I just have to speculate. Actually, there's a museum up here that we're going to walk by in a minute. They could probably tell me, but view of that dynamo.
That's what's going to happen.
This is part of the water wheels that all the water wheel stuff is gone. You can see the water inlet up there. It flowed through here, and then the outlet's down underneath me. To give you an idea of the scale, that's one of the big bearings for the axle that the water wheel was spinning on. You know, the ones behind that wall, I'm assuming. It hasn't been torn out. We're really, really close to downtown right now. If you look up past that stoplight, there's a row of buildings running across the view, and those are all downtown buildings right on Merrimack Street. So we're not far from Merrimack Street. It's fairly easily accessible. And this is the mills, the boot cotton mills museum entrance here. And these are all the boot mills. And that tower right there, I don't know if you can see, I'll try to zoom in, but it's a bell tower. These bell towers were throughout Lowell. Nice weather vane on top. And they were used to summon the workers and keep time for lunch and beginning and ending of the day. Another canal. See all the sluiceways underneath that brought water into the mills. And this is nearly dry, but you can sort of see the water line over on the right, I think. That shows you how high they normally were. And then this amazing area. I'm just going to show you this, and then I'm going to end this video. But this is Boarding House Park. And it's a nice park. But what's really special is it's a performance venue. And that stage has seen some true luminaries. My brother John and I just saw Lyle Lovett and his large band, and it's too many people to mention. James Taylor, his brother Livingston Taylor, just incredible list of very important performers, and people from different ethnic performers and things that you might never hear of if you're not of that ethnicity, unless you came here and watched them. And the place fills up with lawn chairs. This street gets closed off completely, and they set up vending carts and food and porta potties. It's just one of the nicest places to watch music. So, there you have it. The Boarding House Park. Just another one of the things that I love. Absolutely love about this city. I hope you enjoyed this, and more to come in the future. Have a nice day.